Hello, folks. How's everyone doing? This is Old Truth Speaker again, coming to you with another vid. And the name of this is Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton, and Negros, the poorest people in America. Now, this is sort of an in-depth look at what's causing the poverty, or shall I say, why we stay in such a economic rut, so to speak, and who are the best candidates. I'll be brief. Now, picking the two candidates for the civil rights movement, as far as the civil rights movement of African Americans and people of color, you would figure between the two candidates, you would think that Bernie Sanders would be the best candidate. Now, me, I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm an American. I'm an independent voter. And I'm not telling anyone to vote. What I'm saying is we need to know how to vote and what to look in or what to look at in the people or persons that we're voting for. We just don't vote for somebody just because of the color of their skin. That's ridiculous, or the language that they speak. Look at the present condition that we're in now. Well, anyway, that's for another video. At the meeting between the two heads or founders of Black Lives Matter, when they had the back room meeting with Hillary Clinton, I thought it was, phenomenal, some of the things that she was saying. And I mean, if you've seen it and grasped what she was saying, I just want to give you just a little bit of, I'll start to put some of the clip on, but I didn't want to do that. I'll just give you sort of like a brief narrative. They came to Clinton and said, what can we do? His name is Julius, to change the hearts of people. And I agree with Hillary Clinton on this aspect. You can't change the hearts of anyone. You present facts to them. She said, you change the way the system works and you change laws. And that brings more opportunity for people who deserve a better life. And again, to have more opportunities to enhance their God-given potential. This is what Hillary Clinton said. And to live in their own neighborhoods without the fear of violence. You hear what she's saying to black people? She said, I'm going to repeat that, and to live in your own neighborhood in safety without the fear of violence. Since we know that 93% of every African American killed is killed by another African American. I'm not talking about why 88% of whites kill whites, well, 83, whatever it is, which is true. But we're talking about extremely large numbers. Go to Google and see how many people in just the last 3 weeks have died in Detroit, in Chicago, and in Baltimore. Forget everywhere else. Don't even go to New York. Look at the numbers. They're astronomical and they're ridiculous. And see who is getting killed. Babies and old ladies. Still, that's subject for another video. And she also said you need to come together as a movement and tell them, here is what you want. She said, because if you don't, you can get a stadium full of white people and you can talk to them all day long and they'll give you nothing but lip service, and you'll be having the same conversation 10 years from now. Why did she say that? Look at 1963, the first march on Washington for jobs and justice. We're having the exact same conversation now that they had 50 years ago. The march for jobs and justice. We have not moved 1 inch. Okay, now considering her husband, Bill Clinton, passed laws or signed into effect laws that caused more African Americans to be locked up than Ronald Reagan did, all the other previous presidents, you would think that they would get enough of voting for Hillary Clinton, although you know that a large number of women will vote for. And also, when that building was put up in, I'm not going to say the name of the neighborhood, in the Northeast, it completely changed the demographics of one of the most famous African American neighborhoods on earth. But that's it for that. But now look at, this is Hurricane, you know, friend, do you think you can believe what Hillary Clinton is telling you? Because she told him, if you don't want to hear what I say, I'll go tell that to the white people out here in the audience. Now you can't change people's hearts. Caesar couldn't do that. You can't legislate morality, but you can put laws into effect that will change the situation and that can bring in, usher in economic opportunities. Now that I agree with. Now here's Bernie Sanders. His phenomenal movement, shall we say, has been pushed mostly by Caucasian Americans. But he has to bump Hillary out because he's going after black votes now. Or shall we say, economic, the uplifting of the black community through grabbing the black votes from Hillary Clinton. And Bernie Sanders had organized a sit-in over segregating housing at a college as a student during the civil rights movement. And he has, before he went to Congress, he was very active in the civil rights movement long before he went to college. And he's trying to come into South Carolina, which half of our voters are black, and to push or to grasp African American votes, which they seem to be angry at Bernie Sanders, but they're not angry at Clinton. And Bernie Sanders should be the one that they shouldn't be mad at. And going by the way they're doing things, and they should be mad at Hillary Clinton. But I'm going to tell you something. Blacks do not practice group economics. Without group economics, you will disappear. The Jews, I've heard it with my own mouth, call African Americans liquid money, because as soon as you get it, you take your money outside of your community. We can't blame the white man for that. Your money's supposed to bounce 8 to 9 times before it leaves your community. African American money does not bounce one. We own no businesses. And it seems like African Americans in the United States, our black people, we would like to vote about, we have what we call a social illusion. They brag about the cars, the people they know, where they live or something. Let me tell you something. The reason African American are the poorest in the United States is because, like I said, we don't own businesses. We shop and work at other people's businesses. We don't own our own. Businesses are where all money and wealth come from. There is no path for wealth as an employee, but only an employer. The key to wealth isn't just having a job. The key is the wealth is to own your own business. This is the problem with African Americans. We will not do business with other blacks. The very few that do own businesses, they go broke in a year or two. Because we go to do businesses with people that think we're animals. That's our biggest problem. It's not the Sambo syndrome. It's not the Uncle Tom syndrome. It's Sambo. Uncle Tom was a hero. Read Uncle Tom Cabin. We black Americans only control 1.5% of this nation's wealth. And in comparative terms, the same exact percentage on an international scale, and black folks make up 25% of the world population. In other words, we don't own a thing. We are in dire straits, and we're going to be permanent second-class citizens. You need God like never before. Stop blaming white Americans. Stop killing and butchering each other. And get up off your behind, put them gun down, and pick up a book. Because remember, the government, it's not the government's job to feed and clothe you. And stop blaming white people. We have to take responsibility for ourselves, or we'll never get anywhere. Do you know what the AIDS rate in the African American community? 41%. And this is by the Kaiser Family Institute. And I could go on and on and on. We don't own any businesses. They have only 12% of the population, yet you make up 41% of all the AIDS cases. Do you understand? We are going to be second-class citizens forever. It's time to wake up, take responsibility for what we've done, and stop. Shit. First of all, see, crime is a function of education and employment. Whenever you look at crime, you look at the educational index in that community. We don't have economic freedom. You have $1.1 trillion, but you don't own a thing. That is not economic freedom. I said it before and I'll say it again. Unless you own your own businesses and you're taking care of yourself in your own community, you are going to disappear. You'll always be a servant. Folks, we need God in this country, and black folks, we need prayer like never before. Black people, the poorest people in America. And we have to stop blaming white people. I hate him. Let's blame the white man. Really? Then you go and burn down your own neighborhoods and your own stores in your own neighborhood? Really? Do you actually, out of 150 years, I said it before and I'll say it again, we are less than 1/2 of 1%. In 1865, when Lincoln freed the slaves, when there are 4 million blacks and roughly 200,000 own small amount. 150 years later, here we are, 43 million Americans, 12% of the population, and we still own less than 1/2 of 1%. It has been said by leading black economists that we have not moved in 150 years. This is not what I'm saying. This is what's an actual fact that's presented in black and white. I don't like him. It's the white man's fault. Keep saying that. Keep deluding yourself into believing fiction. And we'll be just where we are right now. It's a sad state of affairs when the people that think you're an animal are the one feeding and clothing you. Let's go down any block. Asians selling your clothes and food and selling black women here. It has been said that African Americans are the laughing stock of humanity. Or black people, should I say, especially African Americans. And I think this is ridiculous, and it is a disgrace to the living God that we have come like Martin Luther King's dream has turned into a nightmare. It's a disgrace. I hate that. God help us. Pray, saints, because if God don't do it, we're going to lose out altogether. We're going to disappear, and America is vanishing. Those politicians are as crooked and phony as a $3 bill. They're owned by big business and special interest groups. If God don't do it, we're going to go out of existence, black folk, and we're losing America. God bless, folks. Pray like never before.